Hello guys, it's Rock here, and today I'm here with some sort of Warships gameplay. Now, I think I talked about this last week, but there was a patch, quite a big patch, and they changed the Russian destroyers a little bit, which were my favorite things in this game, and they are mostly much better. And one of the changes was that they moved the Tashkent from tier 8 to tier 9, and I was really curious about how it was going to affect the Tashkent. Um, if you didn't know, Tashkent was a bit underpowered for tier 8. A lot of people just hated it after the Kiev because Kiev was much better, especially when the line was first released. And it quickly garnered the nickname Tashkent. And I think they were right. It was quite painful to use. And with this patch, they moved it to tier 9, and the only changes between the old Tashkent and this new Tashkent is that it's a tier 9, so it has access to one more module slot. It can use heal instead of smoke, and its HE damage is buffed, but that's a general buff to the Russian line. Obviously, I opted for the heal, because I think I've rarely sat in a smoke in a Tashkent. I think Tashkent is made to be mobile, and that's exactly what I was doing, and that change actually played into my hand. And secondly, I am using the rate of fire module for my main guns. That's only available at tier 9, so my reload is done half a second, and because I'm using basic fire training, my reload is down to 4 seconds, and it feels like a goddamn fire thrower right now. I am loving it. And lastly, the Tashkent has the longest range of the Russian destroyer line, and the range is 15.1. That's quite a lot, and considering that this ship relies on speed tanking, that actually is a really good decision on the Wargames part, and it just encourages the playstyle of just run and gunning. And as you can see, that's exactly how I play this ship. I will be using smokes whenever I can use them, but for the most part, I will just be out there and be annoying for the enemy and just deny them access to areas and force them to disengage. I'm also using my old good alloy captain on this, and that's why I'm not running survival to expert. Instead, I have demolition expert, basic fire training, and superintendent on this Tashkent. So right now I'm just probing the flank. There's a destroyer in that smoke, and I am trying to find out if I can get close enough to that smoke to be there when the smoke dissipates, or just when the Atago spots them. Because your fire rate can be really high right now, 4 seconds, nothing can outgun you at close range, even gearing struggle. And if you can get close to an enemy destroyer, in the Tashkent, they are just absolutely dead. But unfortunately, I think he makes it. I saw him briefly, but I just couldn't really hit him. He was just visible for a split second. But I'm still trying to shoot at enemy destroyer as much as I can. See, that was a 3k salvo on a destroyer. That was just... That's how the Russian HE is now. Russian destroyer HE is now. It is super damaging, and I'm loving it. Some people call this bias, but I think it was needed because your only weapon in this thing is your guns. You rarely get to use your torpedoes, and yes, if you can actually get damage on your torpedoes, you can push your damage to 200k in some matches, but mostly you are relying on your guns, and 1600 damage was just pitiful in my opinion. 1900 feels just right. It's not devastating except for Khabarovsk, but that's a tier 9, so tier 10. So it should be devastating. But at tier 9 and lower, it just feels right and makes the Russian destroyers competitive, in my opinion. Before, the American destroyers were just too dominant in gunfights, especially at close range. Now I'm on that gearing. He's turning in. He should be turning out and running away, but he's turning in, and he's just gonna melt away if he doesn't disengage. And as you can see, I'm comfortably hitting him. Now with Zengirzats, he's slowing down. But the gunnery feels so good, and you can see that the fire rate is also really good right now. And down he goes. Now this side is too hot. I think it's time to bail. Whether Montana pushed for no reason, like towards 9 enemies. And I'm just using the opportunity to do damage to that Kutuzov, because right now he's probably the most dangerous opponent in the enemy team. And he can really punish me in the later stages. And Montana dies, predictably. And now I am thinking of abandoning this side and try to link up with the group at A. We'll see how it goes. But this ship is so fast. It's one of the fastest ships. It's slightly slower than a Haba. And being one of the fastest ships in the game, you can change flanks very easily, especially when you pop the speed boost. I'm detected here, so there must be a destroyer there. And I'm contemplating on dumping my torpedoes on that Mogami, which is probably the #1 threat to me right now, together with the Kutuzov. I set him on fire, and I dump my torpedoes, but I have to be really careful. His HE is... His guns are basically rail guns, and he can basically take off a quarter of my health with one salvo. So I need to play this really carefully. He's on fire, but I don't know if he's anticipating torpedoes. Nobody ever anticipates torpedoes from a Tashkent, so that might be an advantage. Looks like he's gonna be taking them, and that's a lot of torpedoes. He's basically screwed right now. There's no way he's avoiding them, and I get a hit, and he's down. Now I know there's a destroyer on the other side of this island, so I just head there, and I'm very confident that I can take on anything. And I used my heal, if you didn't notice it, which repaired a good chunk of my HP, and that's what motivates you to be aggressive after this change. You know you can heal, so you take more risks in the Russian destroyers, and it's just simply amazing. I mean, it doesn't repair much, it repairs at most 3k or 4k, but it is still something, and you can do it up to 4 times in a match, which lets you stay alive up to the later stages of the match, where your presence can be very decisive. I see him again. He's running away though. It's hard to hit someone from this position, especially if they're fast and small. But that was a good salvo. So this ship combines good accuracy with rate of fire, which is amazing. You lose some turret responsiveness if you get the rate of fire mode like I did, but it's very manageable. Now there's a Zao, and I really don't want to mess with the Zao, so I just torp the smoke. And I'm hoping that destroyer is dumb enough to stay in the smoke. But as I said, nobody expects torpedoes from a freaking Tashkent. And that Zao is #1 threat to me, so I immediately disengage. Oh my god, there's another destroyer. I should be really careful, so I'm just extending. The Zao is still in the smoke. Are they really sitting in the smoke? I'm just curious right now. What's gonna happen? Oh, 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. Zao is down. Oh my god, I can't believe that actually worked. Now we have a Montana to deal with, unfortunately. But it's okay, he's busy, and I have the range. So I will just keep burning him, keep setting fires on him, and keep him distracted. He can do a lot of damage to me, but I am confident that my speed and my range advantage will help me. Oh, we barely avoided those torps. So I got 2 fires on him. I don't know if he still has repair. I hope he does not. As you can see, he missed. Even tier 10 Montana players will have a hard time leading enough for a Tashkent. And that's one of your main weapons. Nobody gets it right during the first, 2 or 3 salvos. And this is very annoying for him. I'm chipping away at his health. I actually stopped to bait that second shot. You can do stuff like this. If you think they are zeroing in, you can just stop and then accelerate again. Now that Shima is just too close to me. I don't think that's a wise move. He actually shot at me, so he's visible. And it's just melting away. So I think we did good work while we were changing our flank. Now our guys at C are pushing towards B. And I think they're mostly fresh. So I decide to go through C, and while I'm going through, I'll just keep setting fires to that Montana. Thinking of torping, well, I might as well do it. Just in case if the destroyers decide to push in towards C to secure an extra cap. Montana is beached, so it's the perfect time to set fires on him. But his superstructure is getting saturated, so I'm not getting really good damage. As I said, this is very annoying for the for the Montana. He can't do anything. Well, he technically can, but do you shoot a destroyer spamming HE at you, or do you shoot at the cruiser and the battleship, which are easier to hit and offer you, the chance to do more damage? He opts to shoot at me, but he gets it wrong again. But I got nailed from the smoke. Looks like there's another destroyer in the smoke, so I'm actually fighting against 2 destroyers. And I ground myself a little bit here, but it's okay. I'm trusting my DPS and my tankiness to deal with them. That's 2 Shimas I'm fighting. I'm very confident I can take them. My DPS is just superior. That was a good salvo again. But this guy is about to go down. He barely makes it to the cover. Now I can't really shoot at him. So I start working on the reversing Shima, which I don't know why he's reversing. Now my front gunners have a clear line of sight and he's just getting pummeled. Yep, he's dead. Oh, he's not. One more. There he goes. Now the second Shima, but he disappears. So that was an amazing comeback. They just can't win. They were so close to winning, but we kept killing them. And we kept adding tickets to our own and subtracting from their tickets. And we are so close. We have a battleship, North Carolina, who is fairly healthy. And 2 destroyers. And Mogami is almost dead. I think he will go down very soon. Alright, so now it's 3 versus 2. And I'm thinking... Oh! This Kiev! He's barely hurt. What has he been doing? It's the end game and a wild full health Kiev shows up. Well, it's very hard for me to deal with him. Especially with this health disadvantage. The only thing I can rely on is, landing more hits than him. Try to chip away at his health, and that's exactly what I've been doing. He's been struggling to land hits on me. Well, I almost took half of his health. So on the minimap I see that they have a battleship near A. I think it's North Carolina. But he's so far away to be a factor in this fight. But if you look at the tickets, they are getting dangerously close to winning this. And our battleship is capping B, our destroyer is capping A, and now I know that I have to prevent that Kiev from capping C. I have to win against him if we are to win this fight. So I told my team I need to kill the Kiev. It's just try or just lose. So I'm opting to try, and he's already in the cap, and I am speed boosting towards him. My advantages are, well, not certain not the health, but I have better rate of fire, and I think my aim is better than the last guy, judging from the last engagement. So I decide to pull tricks on him with just stopping, braking, and then accelerating. So that's what I will try to do, but it's very hard to do here because of the little island on my right. But I will do my best. We have to kill him, and they just can't be allowed to cap C. Okay, he gets the first shot because my concealment is horrible and he has better concealment. Looks like he's running concealment expert as well. But now I know where he will pop up from, and I have all guns trained there. I decide to uh, check my torp angles, but they're not good enough. Alright, we got the first shot. And I decide not to use my aft guns to present the lowest possible target to him. My front guns are enough to do damage. But nope, in the last second, I put my rear gun in action and, well, we kill him. And we get a Kraken. And it's just that North Carolina left. It's very lonely. We have all of the caps. And he basically has no chance to win. That was an amazing comeback. And as I said, the new Tashkent feels really good. It really feels like a destroyer leader as the devs intended it to be. So you're just being a scarecrow for the enemy destroyers and just annoy the bigger enemy ships. Do area denial, and the new Tashkent is definitely capable of doing it. My only problem with the old Tashkent was its guns. They felt so underwhelming, but at tier 9 with the main armaments 3 mode, they feel really good. Yep, that was a good match. Yeah, we got 5 kills, 150,000 damage. Not bad, 280 hits. We did so much work there for torpedo hits. We got a bunch of heroic achievements. That was really, really fun. And yeah, of course, we have the first spot, and I'm surprised to see my XP. We broke 3000. You can see my damage here if you're curious. And the credit payouts, well, the expenditure is quite a lot because it's tier 9. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.